Donald John Trump was born on June 14, 1946, in Queens, New York, the son of Fred Trump, a real estate businessman. From a young age, Trump was exposed to the world of business and media, but his true journey began when he took over his father's business. With an entrepreneurial spirit and a rare ability for negotiation, he quickly expanded the family's real estate empire, becoming a household name across the country. His fame grew even more with the reality TV show The Apprentice, where he became an iconic figure with his famous catchphrase, "You're fired." But the real turning point in his life came when he entered politics, a decision that would leave an indelible mark on his personal journey and on American history. The story of Donald Trump, a name that has provoked both love and controversy throughout his life, is not just about power, money, or politics. It's also a story of transformation, overcoming challenges, and, for many, redemption. While the former U.S. president was a polarizing figure, he always had one defining characteristic: the ability to surprise. And it was one of these surprises that would change his life and the lives of thousands of people around the world. His story of giving began, perhaps in an unexpected way, given his public image as a successful businessman. But over time, it revealed a side of Donald Trump that many did not know, that of a man willing to use his enormous wealth and influence to help transform the lives of others. During his presidency, Trump was one of the most controversial leaders in recent U.S. history. His policies and statements often sparked heated reactions, dividing the public into fervent supporters and relentless critics. However, behind this public facade, Trump always maintained a significant presence in the private sector, with his properties and ventures spread across the globe. But it was from a moment of personal reflection that Trump began to change how he used his position and wealth, with the intent to make a difference. The first major donation Trump made was relatively quiet but significant. He began to realize that while his personal fortune put him in a position of great power, it also gave him the opportunity to help in ways that went beyond his own financial gain. Initially, his donations were directed towards specific charitable causes, such as supporting war veterans and building hospitals and health centers in underserved areas. However, what really marked the turning point was when Trump became involved in larger-scale projects focused on education and community development. In 2020, the former president made a significant donation to a nonprofit organization dedicated to funding scholarships for young people from low-income families. This was a surprise to many, considering his focus on business and economics during his presidency. For him, investing in education was not just about philanthropy, but a way to ensure future generations had the tools necessary to thrive in an increasingly globalized and competitive world. Additionally, Trump began supporting initiatives aimed at improving infrastructure and living conditions in marginalized communities. He became directly involved in campaigns to improve access to healthcare and housing for people who had historically been left behind. While many of these actions were not widely publicized in the media, they reflected Trump's desire to transform his public image and use his influence in a more constructive manner. But the impact of his donations wasn't limited to the United States. Trump began collaborating with international organizations focused on combating hunger and poverty in regions of Africa and Asia. By doing so, he demonstrated a commitment to addressing global issues in a concrete and tangible way. This also had a positive impact on his relationship with leaders from other countries, who often saw him as a self-centered businessman focused only on personal and national interests. Trump's donations helped improve his image on the international stage, particularly in countries that directly benefited from his initiatives. Another interesting aspect of Donald Trump's donations is that many of them were made anonymously. Rather than seeking public recognition, Trump seemed more interested in ensuring that resources reached those who truly needed them. This contrasted with the behavior of many other billionaires and celebrities, who often associate their charitable actions with large fundraising events or publicity campaigns. By acting discreetly, Trump was able to keep the focus on the cause rather than on himself. The political challenge, Trump's fight for the presidency and his political rise was not easy. In 2016, he shocked the world by winning the presidential race in a way no one expected. Against all odds, he was elected the 45th President of the United States. His presidency was marked by bold decisions, controversial policies, and a series of twists and turns that sparked heated debates worldwide. However, during his time in the White House, Trump showed that, despite being a controversial figure, he had a deep connection with the people, especially those who felt forgotten or marginalized. He often spoke about his desire to help the poorest Americans and struggling communities, and it was during this time that a quiet transformation began to take place, something the media didn't give much attention to. After leaving office in 2021, Trump remained a constant presence in politics and the media. But what many didn't know was that behind the scenes, he was involved in something much bigger, a secret project of donations and support for humanitarian causes. The former president, known for his relentless pursuit of financial success, decided to invest a large portion of his fortune into initiatives that helped change the lives of millions of people. His story of giving began in 2023 when Trump visited one of the poorest regions of the United States, in the South. There, he met families struggling to survive, children without access to education, and communities lacking basic resources for development. Hearing their stories changed something inside him. He, who had once focused on business and politics, now saw himself as part of a larger mission, to make a difference in the lives of people who needed help the most. Trump's donation was unexpected and unprecedented. He committed to donating millions of dollars for the construction of schools in underprivileged areas, hospitals in regions lacking access to quality health care, and vocational training programs for at-risk youth. But the most surprising gesture came when he decided to allocate a significant amount to a scholarship fund for students from low-income families. He wanted to ensure that, despite financial difficulties, future generations had access to quality education, something he believed was essential to transforming lives. The impact of Trump's donation was immense. Entire communities began to feel the difference, with young people gaining educational opportunities and families having access to medical care. But, just as in anyone's life, not everything was easy. In 2024, an unexpected and tragic event occurred that nearly destroyed his faith in the world. In a car accident, one of Trump's main allies in the philanthropic foundation, a woman he considered a sister, lost her life. This devastating event shook the former president in a way no one could have predicted. He spent months in seclusion, reflecting on the impact of his life and what truly mattered. He even began to question whether his actions had really made a difference in the world or if they were just a way to ease his own guilt and seek redemption. It was during this time of pain that he made a decision that surprised everyone. At a public event, Trump delivered a moving speech in which he revealed the true reason behind his donations and his desire to continue helping, regardless of personal losses. "I'm not doing this to be applauded. I'm doing this because I believe the world can be a better place," he said, his voice choked with emotion. His speech moved millions of people, and his trajectory of donations and support for social causes intensified even more. He began to collaborate with NGOs and other philanthropists to expand his impact, helping to create a global network of support for at-risk communities. Trump, the businessman, the politician, was now becoming an advocate for social causes. The legacy of Donald Trump, though still controversial in many spheres, came to be seen by many as a combination of successful business ventures, bold political decisions, and philanthropic actions that were changing the world. His donations helped improve the lives of millions of people, and his impact extended beyond the borders of the United States. Donald Trump's story now goes beyond his presidency and the controversies that marked his time in power. He became an example of how someone, even with a life marked by ups and downs, can make a difference in the world. His transformation from a successful businessman to a champion for social causes is a testament to the power of change, empathy, and the desire to create a legacy that transcends political victories or successful business endeavors. Like in any great drama, Donald Trump's story seemed to be written in chapters of tension and plot twists. From his days in politics to his rise as a polarizing figure, his trajectory was always marked by moments of highs and lows. But in 2025, the former U.S. president brought about a completely unexpected ending, a twist that surprised everyone, leaving a mark of emotion and compassion that would transform his image before the world. The story, which many thought had already reached its end, gained a new chapter when Trump announced a multi-million-dollar donation. At first, it might have seemed like just another publicity move, a marketing ploy, or a political gesture to improve his image. However, the cause behind the donation was something much deeper and more touching. He decided to allocate resources for the reconstruction of communities devastated by natural disasters. But it wasn't just the amount of the donation that attracted attention, it was Trump's own transformation. The first reactions were of surprise. Trump, the man who had been widely criticized for his ruthless and controversial stance, was now focused on something more altruistic. But the true moment of transformation occurred when he personally met with a family that had been saved by one of the hospitals funded by his foundation. The story of that mother, who had lost everything in a natural disaster and found shelter and medical care thanks to Trump's initiative, was heartbreaking. When she shared her journey, her eyes were filled with gratitude and pain, but also with renewed hope. She spoke about how her son, who had suffered severe injuries, was treated by doctors and nurses who were there thanks to Trump's funding. The work of those professionals saved lives, and over time, the community began to rebuild, swelling the hearts of everyone involved in a way they had never expected. It was in that moment, before that mother, hearing her story and seeing the direct impact of his actions, that Trump was touched in a way no one could have imagined. The man known for his harshness and severe criticism suddenly found himself vulnerable, not just as a leader, but as a human being. In a scene that seemed straight out of a movie, with tears in his eyes, Trump approached the woman and said, "I never imagined I'd do something like this, but life has a way of teaching us what really matters." This gesture was not just a simple declaration, but a demonstration of humility and regret. In that instant, the former president seemed to distance himself from the polarizing public figure and transform into someone more human, more connected to the feelings of the people he had often ignored or criticized. The gesture did not go unnoticed. The media, which had portrayed him for years as a distant and uncompromising figure, now found themselves facing a man who, at last, seemed to understand the true meaning of leadership and solidarity. Surprise spread throughout the global public. Social media exploded with mixed reactions, but most, surprisingly, applauded the change. The words transformation and redemption began circulating among commentators, and many started to see Trump in a new light, as a symbol of possible change, even for someone with such a tumultuous past. For many, this moment was a powerful reminder that no one is immune to transformation. Life has the ability to teach unexpected lessons, and even the most controversial figures can have a moment of awakening. Trump, over the years, had been heavily criticized for his policies and attitudes. However, in 2025, he seemed to have finally found a deeper purpose, helping those who needed it the most, regardless of their ideology or political history. And by doing so, he touched the hearts of millions. This event was not just a milestone in Trump's life but also for society as a whole. In times of increasing polarization, when divisions between people seem to be growing wider, Trump's example showed that the ability to change and do good for others is within everyone's reach, regardless of the past. It is a message of hope that personal transformation can be real and positively impact the lives of many others. Donald Trump's legacy, up until that point, had been largely defined by his political victories and failures. But now, he was beginning to be recognized for a different kind of legacy, the human impact his actions could have. He would no longer be remembered only for his controversies, but also for the role he played in the recovery of devastated communities, in supporting the most vulnerable, and in demonstrating that true leadership is about more than just power and rhetoric. This unexpected ending also highlighted a universal theme, the possibility of redemption. No matter the choices we've made in the past, we all have the power to change, to make a difference, and to touch others' lives in a positive way. Trump's gesture, though unusual for many, served as a reminder that no one is stuck with an irreversible fate. Everyone has the chance to rewrite their story and impact the world in a way that reflects the best of themselves. In 2025, what many considered to be the end of Donald Trump's story became a new beginning, an example of transformation and an invitation to reflect on the true meaning of leadership and humanity. His journey didn't end with a simple act of charity, but with a profound shift in his worldview. That man, once unyielding and controversial, was now becoming a symbol that it is never too late to start doing good. This story not only touched the world but also reminded us that we all have the power to change, to surprise, and, most importantly, to make a difference in the lives of others. The unexpected, at times, teaches us the most about what truly matters. We are witnessing something truly unprecedented, something that shows us that, despite everything, life always offers us the chance to start over, to change, and to deeply touch the lives of others. Donald Trump's story in 2025 is not just the story of a former president, but a story of redemption, courage, and a heart that opened up to true transformation. Have you ever stopped to think about the power of a single gesture? The ability we all have, even after the greatest mistakes, to make decisions that positively impact the lives of others? What happened when Trump decided to invest in communities devastated by natural disasters wasn't just a financial donation, but a true turning point. He found the meaning of true leadership, genuine support for others, and perhaps most importantly, humility in the face of human suffering. Now, imagine how a simple gesture of solidarity can change the way we perceive each other, and how that gesture can resonate in the hearts of millions of people around the world. By seeing Trump's emotional reaction when he heard the story of the mother whose life was transformed by the hospitals funded by his foundation, we can realize that, in moments of true compassion, we are all touched. We are all reminded that, in the end, what really matters is the good we can do for each other. And that's why we want to hear your opinion. What do you think about the transformation that Donald Trump went through? Do you believe it is possible for someone to change so profoundly? How does his story show us that even the greatest challenges can teach us what truly matters in life? If this video touched your heart as much as it touched ours, if you believe that acts of kindness can change the world, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Your presence here means so much to us, and we want to continue bringing stories that move and inspire. And more. Leave your comments below. Let's continue this conversation and share our ideas about transformation, hope, and the power of good. Your opinion matters, and we want to hear from you. Together, we can create a community of support, learning, and growth, because, in the end, it's what connects us that makes this world more human. Don't miss the chance to be part of this journey. Subscribe, like, and comment. We're waiting for you.